Good afternoon. My name is Jacob Falk, and this will be my rebuttal to Emilio's Rebuttal 1. Emilio refutes my claim that mandatory GMO labeling will ultimately harm farmers due to consumers' avoidance of them. Emilio says that the use of GMOs will end up working against farmers due to the risks posed by what's called horizontal gene transfer, which is the unwanted transferring of genes between organisms without human interference or sexual reproduction. I disagree that horizontal gene transfer between genetically engineered crops will have a more adverse effect on farmers than would mandatory labeling. HGT, as this unwanted transfer is sometimes known, can indeed be a problem in certain instances. For example, if bacteria develop resistances to an antibiotic, they can transfer this gene to other bacteria, even ones they themselves haven't generated. This is an example of when HGT causes a real problem. But if we look at research concerning gene transfer in multicellular organisms, we find that they're quite unrelatable. I have 3 things to note that come from a 2008 article published in the journal titled Environmental Biosafety Research. 1. HGT between eukaryotes or multicellular organisms is rare. 2. HGT between eukaryotic organisms happens naturally and has been occurring for millions of years with no relation to the introduction of GMOs. And 3, HGT between GM crops and other organisms is actually expected to occur much less frequently than the natural rate. So it seems that, in reality, horizontal gene transfer is unlikely to cause more harm than would occur naturally. But let's consider that we can take preventative measures against HGT should it become a problem with GMO crops. Bacterial resistance to antibiotics, which was my example I used before, can be mitigated with the use of conjugation inhibitors, according to research published in the journal titled Frontiers in Biology in 2017. Now, these inhibitors are organic compounds which are introduced to bacteria that stop the mechanism for unwanted gene transfer. This indicates the possibility of developing something similar to combat the already implausible HGT from GMO crops to regular crops. This might not be a likely problem we face, but should it come around, we do have the science, technology, and possibly even the genetic engineering capability to tackle it. Now, contrary to Emilio's claim, HGT will not be more detrimental to farmers than mandatory labeling. And even if it were, I fail to see how government-mandated labeling would protect farmers from the dangers of HGT. For these reasons, we cannot allow laws which demand the labeling of products that contain GMOs. Thank you very much for your time.